Most people get fewer than 4 of these right, and there's a reason why. Western textbooks have been hiding the most shocking truths about ancient Egypt for over a century. Think you know Egyptian history? Let's see if you can handle the real facts that make Egyptians proud and Western historians uncomfortable. Question 1. Ancient Egypt had the world's first known female pharaoh who ruled for 22 years and brought unprecedented prosperity. What was her name, and when did she rule? Think about it. Hatshepsut. She ruled from 1479 to 1458 BC, wore a fake beard to assert authority, and her reign was so successful that later male pharaohs tried to erase her from history entirely. She built more monuments than any pharaoh except Ramesses II. Question 2. The Great Pyramid of Giza contains a mathematical constant that wasn't officially discovered by Europeans until thousands of years later. What constant is encoded in its dimensions? Think about it. Pi. The ratio of the pyramid's perimeter to its height equals pi to an accuracy that would make modern engineers jealous. This means ancient Egyptians knew advanced mathematics 2,000 years before the Greeks supposedly invented it. Question 3. Ancient Egyptians performed successful surgical procedures that European doctors couldn't match until the 1800s. What type of surgery were they masters of? Think about it. Brain surgery. The Edwin Smith Papyrus describes 48 surgical cases, including successful skull trepanation and treatment of brain injuries. They were removing brain tumors while Europeans still thought disease was caused by bad air. Question 4. The world's first known strike in recorded history happened in ancient Egypt. What were the workers demanding, and what made it so effective? Think about it. Fair wages and food rations. In 1170 BC, workers building Ramesses III's tomb went on strike because their grain payments were late. They staged sit-ins at mortuary temples and won their demands within days. They invented collective bargaining 3,000 years before labor unions. Question 5. Ancient Egypt had a female pharaoh who commanded naval battles and conquered territories that wouldn't be matched by any woman ruler for 1,500 years. Who was she? Think about it. Nitotep. She led military campaigns into Nubia and Libya around 2950 BC, commanding fleets that dominated the Mediterranean. Her military achievements were so threatening to later patriarchal societies that most records were deliberately destroyed. Question 6. Egyptian engineers built a canal connecting the Mediterranean and Red Seas that predates the modern Suez Canal by over 2,000 years. Which pharaoh completed this engineering marvel? Think about it. Darius I. Though he was Persian, he completed a canal originally started by Pharaoh Necho II around 600 BC. Ancient Egyptians were moving ships between seas while Europeans were still afraid to sail beyond coastal waters. Question 7. The world's first known peace treaty was signed by ancient Egypt, and it's still displayed in the United Nations headquarters. Which battle led to this historic agreement? Think about it. The Battle of Qodesh. Ramesses II and the Hittite king Hattusili III signed the Egyptian-Hittite peace treaty in 1259 BC. It established borders, mutual defense agreements, and prisoner exchanges. Modern diplomacy was born in Africa. Question 8. Ancient Egyptian women had legal rights that European women didn't gain until the 20th century. What groundbreaking right did Egyptian women have 4,000 years ago? Think about it. Property ownership and divorce rights. Egyptian women could own property, initiate divorce, run businesses, and serve as judges. Meanwhile, European women couldn't even own property in their own names until the 1800s. Question 9. The Library of Alexandria wasn't just a library, it was the world's first research university with a feature that modern institutions are only now rediscovering. What revolutionary educational practice did it pioneer? Think about it. International student exchange programs. Scholars from Africa, Asia, and Europe studied together, sharing knowledge across cultures. It had student housing, research grants, and academic fellowships 2,000 years before Bologna University. Question 10. Ancient Egyptians discovered and used a medical technique for treating infections that European doctors rediscovered and won Nobel Prizes for in 1945. What was this life-saving treatment? Think about it. Antibiotic therapy using moldy bread. Egyptian physicians used bread mold containing penicillin-like compounds to treat infected wounds. Alexander Fleming got worldwide credit for discovering penicillin, but Egyptians had been using it for millennia. Bonus question: this one's brutal. Ancient Egypt had a pharaoh who was simultaneously male and female, ruled for 17 years, and sparked a religious revolution that influenced 3 major world religions. Think you know who this was? Think about it. Akhenaten. Born female but lived as male, Akhenaten introduced monotheism to Egypt, directly influencing Moses and later inspiring concepts in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The gender fluidity and religious revolution were so controversial that successors tried to erase this pharaoh completely. How many did you get right? If you scored above 7, you know more about real Egyptian history than most university professors. Send this to someone who thinks they know African history. Let's see if they can handle these facts that textbooks don't want you to know.